Welcome once again to Gossinger's Sleepy Time Minecraft. So here I am, deep in the Chaotica, planning on doing no action, no jump scares, just nice sleepy time, Minecraft building, mining, and just hanging out, talking about stuff. So here I am, deep in the Chaotica, right near Auto Sorter. This is Auto Sorter B. I call it Home B, but it is, like I said, the third auto sorter that I've built in this place, the catacombs of Chaotica. Down here's the deep, where I am growing nether wart. I like nether wart, it makes my favorite bricks. So let's go check and see if there's any growing. I have a full inventory already, so I need to go make a cube, but look at it all, it's all ripe and ready. This is good stuff. Ooh yeah. Look at this. This is good stuff. I'll fly through here. And this room, I need to plant. Huh. I'm always doing stuff and just bouncing around between projects. It's all what can you hold and where do you want to put that stuff. Looks like here. Look, here's the edge of. Ooh, look, I screwed up right there. Doot. Broke that glass. So here is the edge of progress. This lava is causing a hindrance. This lava needs to go so that this area could be developed. And that's what I found a lot of my problems down in the deep are hinders my progress is the mining part of it. When I first started the Chaotica, it was on the surface, and I was like, oh yay, this is fun. But I got it in my head that I want it to go from bedrock to the sky. And I'll be digging and I'll have stuff fall, and I just never, I have a difficulty finishing things. I've always known that. And so it's a thing I've worked on my whole life, just work finishing projects. One such time, pardon my sniffle, one such time I decided, you know what, I had always wanted to write a book, so I did. Ooh, what's this doing? This is a ghastly. That's not where the ghastly is. The ghastly's here. That's where the ghastly is. No, wait, a ghastly is the over here. That's a haunter. And then down low's Gengar. I love these. Look at my ghastly. Urgh. So once upon a time, I wanted to write a book. My first book I wrote while work, like when I had time. I had young baby kids, and and I was working, and a young wife, and so it took me a long time to write my first book. For one, I didn't know how to write like I knew I wanted to write. I didn't know my process. I didn't know how my mind worked, which is actually kind of vital. Let's go to home temp, empty out this inventory. So, in order to write or to do anything that requires mental focus, you got to learn how your mind works and learn how, like, how to explain that. So, you all, if you've been watching my videos, you know I got a touch of the autism or the ADHD or whatever. I'm undiagnosed, but I think differently. Yeah, my brain bounces around, and it doesn't like to stay on a singular task. However, I do have imagination, and so I had to hone my mind to like times of focus. I had to reward it. It's weird. It's not. It is who I am, but I treat it like it's a separate entity. I will reward my mind, and it thrives off of ritual. So, and I find the best times for doing any focused work is in the mornings. Um, so what I will do is I will dedicate my mornings. So my work, my money paying job, my work is an afternoon job. So in the afternoons I go to work, but in the morning it's me time. And I will have my coffee when I wake up. I'll have my cereal. I like cereal. I know it's probably not the best for you, but I like it. It makes me happy. I have my milk and my cereal. I have my coffee. And that's what I would do is once I learned my routine, I would write, and that's what I would do. I need uninterrupted time, a block of about 2.5, 3 hours, and I would do a chapter. I would write on a subreddit on Reddit called HFY, which stands for Humans Fuck Yeah, which is a subreddit where it's sci-fi stories, but it's where humans are the apex species. Like imagine if we go into space and rather than finding out, oh, aliens are scary, it turns out we're the nightmare creatures. We come in, we show up on the space, and everything's like, oh crap, what are these things? So there's a whole series called Death Worlders. Like, what if Earth, we think of Earth as a paradise, but what if it's actually, like, what if we're Space Australia? Like, all the other planets are nice and calm. They don't have seasons. They don't, all the different things that could be. What if the things that Earth has makes it special and dangerous? And what if we get out there and it turns out we're like the outback and we're the wild creatures of the outback running around space and everybody's terrified of us? That's the basic premise of Death Worlders and HFY. So my sci-fi, I love sci-fi. Sci-fi is amazing. Some people aren't fans of fiction. They're like, why would you want fiction? It's not real. They say that. Here I am playing Minecraft. This ain't real either. No video game is. It's all imagination. But that's the thing, is it's imagination. Sci-fi is powerful because it lets you create and explore possible realities, explore what could be's. And ooh, I think I wasn't paying attention where I was building. I wonder what's in this. I'm gonna peek in this wall. This wall I don't want to break. This wall, I know what this wall is. Oh, I broke it. I'm an idiot. I did that yesterday. This nice little do 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 do. Let's go pick that up. Pick up this frame. So I made letter art. So long as I live, I will create. I just broke that on the other side of this wall. So, sci-fi, HFY, and I want the door to be to this walkway here instead of the road. So you don't step out onto an active road and get hit by a boat racer. Which it turns out, every now and then, people are liking this racing course and they will come and race. And you will see somebody just zip by, zoop, and go. No, this is on the return path, so they'll zip by on the other side and then come back this way. But anyway, HFY, that's where I write my sci-fi. But before then, my first book I didn't write on a subreddit. I did it the hard way. There's no feedback, it was just, welcome back, Aiden. It was just me writing. So I'd write a chapter, I didn't have it figured out. It was me learning pretty much. And my first book was a deconstruction, and it was quite fun. I got it out, and I was like, okay, whatever. But I knew that I wanted to write another book, and I wanted to do it faster than the 10 years. Where? I make it. So I wanted to do my book faster, and I wanted to get better at it because it's something I always wanted a skill. Like, I have a skill at work. I know how to. Yes, but no. I will tell you a secret. Whisper Aiden. Freezer Arun. So, really, really cute. Really? That's a secret. You're really just going to blurt out a secret so Skulk Cadet knows it. Okay, Skulk Cadet's a blue name. Skulk can know it, whatever. Runecraft, it's amazing. And that's what I'm doing, is playing Minecraft, and I'm talking to you about books. So, I wanted to... First, I wished I had a skill that I could be profitable off of that was outside of my work skill. I wanted something that if I were if anything ever happened, I could just use this skill. Like I remember I met this one guy who he would dig water wells out in eastern Oklahoma, and he had all the gear for it. He was this old man, and he took care of all the water wells in the sand basin around the Arkansas River for all the local older ladies. They'd all just have their own water wells, and he'd just take care of them. And so he was retired, and he was getting a side check, cash, doing these water wells. And I was like, well, what would be my skill? And I always hoped my skill was writing. And I was like, well, if that's going to be my skill, I better hone it. I better do better with it. And so I needed to practice it. And COVID came along, and I said, this is a perfect opportunity. People are at home, and my wife at the time, that, yes, of course, cute jerk. So my wife, she had her job took her to Houston, and so there was long periods of time where I'm home alone. I'm like, well, this sucks, so might as well do something. It's COVID. I'm in there's lockdown. All I do is work and come. No problem, silly goose. So I wrote, and I made it a routine, and I learned I was disciplined in my mind, and so every day I wrote. Some days I wrote 4 chapters a day because there's nothing, like on my weekend, I wasn't doing anything, and so I wrote 4 chapters a day, and I would write, and my chapters are usually broken into 3 segments, and so in between each segment, I'd take me a little Minecraft break, play for an hour, because I love gaming. Gaming's turns off my brain, pretty much mental drivel. I'm just out here building. And so I'm going to have a sip of coffee. Here we go. Because it's still warm and I don't want it to go cold. Costco coffee. Yummy, yummy, yummy. So I would have me, so it's all about the dopamine. So I'd reward myself. Every third of a chapter, I'd reward myself with 20 minutes to an hour of Minecraft or whatever video game I was playing. Sometimes I'd do a League of Legends. I'd do a League of Legends match, which usually lasts about 23 minutes. Usually about 23 minutes before it escalates and ends. And so I'd do that. And at that time, I was doing pretty good in League of Legends and also in my writing. And I got so many chapters out. I wrote like 158 chapters. And I put it all in one story called 99.9% of the universe. And so I put that book out there and I put it on HFY. I got quite a few followers. Over like 1,000 people have read it. And I was like, hey, that's pretty cool. I put it in a book. I self-published on Amazon. That doesn't really do anything, but whatever. A couple people bought my book. So I made some money that way. And then somebody hit me up. There was a guy that out of Britain that goes through HFY and finds all the authors, and he pays them to he'll have AI pretty much do audio of their works. And so he'll turn all these stories into AI videos. He gets their permission, and he gives you 30% of the income. And so I was like, heck yeah. So we went through and did my book and got people reading it. And so you can find that on Sci-Fi Stories on YouTube. If you are... And a lot of my fans are truckers. They're just driving across the country listening to my sci-fi story, 99.9% of the universe. So that's a thing. And then I was like, that was fun. And I wanted to replicate that. And I find, I don't know, it was special. 99.9% of the universe was special. Welcome back. Hypers. So 99.9% of the universe was special. I've had a difficulty. Hypers. So I've had difficulty replicating 158 chapters, but my mind, my wife working in Houston ended, so she's back, and I find, so now I can maybe do 1 instead of 4 a day. I'm down to maybe I could do 1 or 2 chapters a week, but given the time frame, uh, within about a month or a little more, I can probably keep my focus that much. So my books would be in my mind, and I'd daydream about them the next chapter. And I'd have to get it out on paper. And if I don't get it on paper, it kind of disintegrates. And so I'd only get about 10 chapters before the story would disintegrate in my mind. That's the best way to put it. So I've been learning to write in 10 chapter chunks. And my stories would be, if I can do it in 10 chapters, is good. If it's over that, it's probably going to end up dying. And so now I have numerous dead books that I've gotten them to like 20 chapters, and then I try forcing it and it doesn't go anywhere. I've got one called Baba Yaga. My Song Killer one's really cool. I actually did publish that one. Baba Yaga, I keep dreaming about going back and focus on Minecraft. You can see my hands just kind of work on the box while my mind plays what I'm thinking. So I need to reread my stories and get back in the mindset and see if I can rebuild off of them. I forget I think I was writing one called Tiger recently, and it was about an alien from 99.9% of the universe. But all this started because I've been Minecrafting a lot lately, and I forgot about writing. Well, not forgot, it's just I shifted gears, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to be playing. It's the season of Minecraft, but it feels like a season of writing is coming soon, which will be good because I want to finish another book. See if I can get another book out in the universe. Let's go up like this. Throw this out. I like these little things. And, uh-oh. I screwed up. I did not see that door there. So we will move this. Go down. So a season of writing might be coming. And that'll be good. Because I want to finish another book before. I hope I have another few more books before the end comes for me, which comes for everybody. I like Song Killer. That was a fun world I made in Song Killer. Ooh, that made it dark. So we'll put another light. One more. And yeah, that was a fun story. And let's do another 3. Yeah, we can do another 3 right here. Won't block a light. And So Song Killer. I want to finish Baba Yaga, but there's another story. I don't even know what they were named. They come in. I gotta go sleep. I was writing these crazy books. I don't even know how to describe them. So more coffee. Sleeper agents activate. So we started calling the sleep squad the sleeper agents. Somebody mentioned that, and we're like, that's genius. Nice, somebody did. And let's go dump these blocks back. So, whenever I was a kid, years ago, back before the year 2000, get rid of those stone, throw those stone back. I wonder what pretty color I want to use to mix with this. Lime green's short. How are we doing on pink? Pink's almost full. Let's drain down the pink. Load up on this light. Let's go back to home temp. And then so one of the rules of Chaotica is you never build with a material that is the same as the surrounding biome. So say you put a box, if I left it stone and I put a stone box on the ground, say next to this, and I use a 15 power tool, and it will mine through all the stone, and it could hit the box. And if it hits the box, it will mine right through it. So if you change stone to stone brick, you're not going to be popping boxes with power tool unless you're mining stone brick. which I don't. So in the desert, you don't use sandstone because if you're popping sandstone with a power tool, it'll mine the sandstone. Same thing. Do do do. I'm trying to get a whole layer of boxes around the road, and then I will build up. Like, I love this. You got the glass here. It's like gives it mall vibe. Like, this is an open space. You're open to the elements. The air can come in, but it's also closed off. This reminds me of that's ready for harvest. A mall in Mexico City. There's this giant mall, and you're like, oh wow, I'm in this giant mall in Mexico City. And you think you're inside, and then you keep walking, and it turns out you walk from inside, and it's like 5 stories tall, and it's just a 5 story tall hole outside, and it's beautiful architecture, and that's I love that for Minecraft because this game is about architecture heavily, and you can just dream whatever you want. Gravity doesn't confine you. You can dream up whatever architecture you want. And I'm going to make a glass area here to get sunlight down. And it helps, and architecture from the real world can heavily influence architecture in Minecraft. Whatever I'll see things out in the real world, and it'll give me vibes of what I would like to see in the game, and that's creativity. Okay, going back to writing and thinking about my books and stuff. So, because it all ties back to my creativity. When I was a kid, I used to draw a lot, like a lot. I'd be drawing all sorts of stuff. I'm not a good artist. Like, well, let me say that. I enjoy art heavily. I love art. But I'm not a realist. I can't do realism. I probably could if I really tried, but I don't. I have no intention of ever learning how to be a great realistic artist ever. Like I'm not going to sit down and do still lifes. That doesn't. I want to draw monsters and crazy stuff. I know if I learn how to draw basic anatomy and things like that, it would help me. But it's not for anybody. It's not for realism. It's just to get my ideas out of my head. And so some of the ideas I had, this is going to be a tall building. This is a tall building right beside me, so we'll see how this goes. Because this is tiny. We can go out to here. And let's pop this. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Nice. Okay, so I wanted to get ideas out of my head. And I had ideas about, let's do that. And let's go to just here. Some of those ideas I dreamt, this is way before Minecraft. This is when video games were just beginning. So video games didn't even really exist back then. You had like Nintendo. And here I am drawing these. I draw video games because I didn't have a Nintendo. I remember drawing characters for Street Fighter and sending them off to Nintendo going, hey, this is amazing. I love Street Fighter. Can you make these into video game characters? So I was always daydreaming and creating stuff. Looking back, they call it maladaptive daydreaming. I grew up in western Oklahoma, so very, very boring place. Very boring. And my brain craves novelty. So if you can imagine somebody who's always bored all the time, maladaptive daydreaming turned those wheat fields that were outside the schoolhouse window into playgrounds of the mind. And I'd get my homework done or all my work done and just be daydreaming all day. So I'm a daydreamer. My brain has to go somewhere all the time. And one of those places it went was I made up my own little world called Posella. It's a silly word. To me, it's a whole nother world. And it was a world of floating islands. And these floating islands, they had their own deities there, except that they were actually real and had capabilities more like Norse gods, and Zeus is like a pantheon pretty much. And and I took those names and those creatures and those deities and those capabilities, and I put them into. They show up in some of my books. I don't think any good author has things hiding in the background, and so they're always hiding. They're in my brain. They're little ideas that I have, so they're always hiding in the background of all my stories. A lot of the times they don't have any effect, but they're there. But there's one set of stories that pink, and my Pacell that column, I don't even know what I call them. So right now there's 2 separate stories of 10 chapters each. They seem separate, and where one ends, the next one begins. So they are technically separate, but they're one story. But each of them are showing aspects of those well, they're more like avatars or deity. I don't even know what they would be, and how they would seep into the world. And I have really fun with that. So I'm going to try and write the next one, because there's a total of 6 or 7 of them. And if I got 6 or 7 of those 10 chapter books out, that would be, 6 or 7 of those 10 chapter stories out. They're stories, not a book. Those stories could be put together and make a book, and I would enjoy that. And that would be another book out. So I think that's the next book I'm going to write, or the next story set, is I will write that. And that'll be fun. I'll put it on HFY. Even though it's not about aliens or nothing, it's pretty fun. And the people on HFY subreddit enjoy them. And I've got quite a lot of good feedback from those kind of stories. So I'll do that. And that's another thing about publishing on Reddit. Whenever, instead of just doing like I did my first book, I published on Reddit, and people give me feedback right away. Hey, you screwed up here. Hey, this was cool. And I like that feedback. That gives you a dopamine boost. It's an instant kick right back. Like, okay, I did good here. Sometimes it hurts. You're like, oh, I'm a screw up. But then you're like, well, people are reading it. And that dopamine kick like that's the motivation. That's what got me going. It kept me going, like knowing that people are waiting for your story and they're going, hey, please write more. That's a good feeling. And I love that. I never made a lot of money. Some of the YouTube money, one month I got like $200, and I was like, wow, I made it. I got money as an author. That's a good, I was over the moon. I still am. I made money as an author during my life. And that was a dream of mine since I was a kid, to create something and have people enjoy it and make money off of it. Dream. But you always got to be making. And I couldn't produce like I did 99.9% of the universe. I couldn't keep that up. That was unsustainable. It was a proof of concept that I could write in mass. It requires intense dedication, intense focus, and I didn't get anything else done during that time. It just, I woke up, wrote, worked, slept, woke up, wrote, worked, slept. That was my life. But it's doable. I was able to do it, and it was awesome. Look at this. I made this little room here. You can go up there. And that was that. That was 99.9% of the universe. I need more boxes here. I like these towering ones. Aiden was telling me it feels like whenever you do the racetrack, it feels like you're going through a city. And that's the whole vibe I'm going through, is a cityscape. I need lots more boxes out here. And flying should end right there. Yep. So I will need to make a box right about here to hold another flight rune. And I haven't done anything exciting, so I hope my voice and my boring stories about my writing and my process put you to sleep. If not, I'll keep going. If you keep listening, I'll keep talking, and we will make you fall asleep one way or another. I'm going to have another sip of coffee so I wake up while you're falling asleep. And let's cut this stone brick with something blue. Get some. I think blue is a good sleepy time color. I love blue in bedrooms. I honestly don't think TVs should be in bedrooms. I think it interferes with sleep, but some people fall asleep to TV. So what do I know? Gotta sleep. Gotta keep the phantoms away. Sleepy time, bedtime. Look at that. Somebody else already got in the bed. Good job, people. Come on, kick awake. Kick awake. Sleepy. Sleeper agent activate. Good job. And let's go make that building for the next flight room. So once I have flight rooms along the whole line of the racetrack, somebody left a crafting table out on top of a light. What kind of weirdo would put a crafting table? So who could do this? Let's see. RGI. Do priority, parent priority, waterworks, Gossinger. Okay, so this is a waterworks is off of the Chaotica. So anybody who has capabilities of building in the Chaotica has capabilities of building here, and that's why people could build here, because I have so many people that are capable of building in Chaotica. But I don't worry about griefing. That's something easily fixed. It lets me know, hey, people need a workbench to build boats right here. So now they can come right here, build their boats, and go race. And this is the racing start point. Well, let's go down there. Let's go make another box. Keep moving. And the grass is growing. I need to harvest those berries and plant more berries. I want like berry bushes all around the track, so whenever you're going and say you slide, you hit the berries and get hurt and beat up. I like that. It's like, see, look right here, it's a buffer. Smack, 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 smack. Hit the berries and get hurt. I love it. Smack, hit that dead end right there. Then I gotta put stairs everywhere. What's going on in here? Oh, look at that. I never bored that out. Let's cut that hole. What's going on in this room? Boy, that goes way down there. So, whenever the boxes overlay and touch and intertwine, it really gets cool. That's when the city starts growing and taking on a vibe. And I love drawing mazes too. That's another thing I use to discipline my mind, is I'll do Zentangles. I've talked about it before. And actually that might be what the Chaotica is a Zentangle. It's Minecraft Zentangle for my mind. It's lets my mind unwind. Making boxes makes sense to me. It feels good. It's a little dopamine kick in the morning. It's a whole thing for me. Oh, this is too tight. This is a tight little room. Normally I like it so that you can put a light in each corner, but if I put a light in each corner, you're going to have a double up light, and that's a waste of light. But everything's got to be purposeful, it seems, in Chaotica. Sometimes, though, you got to do aesthetic. You got to just enjoy and do things because it's pretty. I don't do that a lot. I'm actually quite frugal and not a big fan of just doing things because it's pretty. And you can see that in real life, I'm not a big fan of showy cars. A lot of guys here in the city I live in love showy cars. They like to show off wealth. They like to show off stuff like that, but it doesn't serve a purpose for me. I'm like, if I know how much money I have, nobody else needs to know how much money I have, so I'm not going to tell you or show you why show off wealth. And a lot of times shows of wealth like that aren't anything but displays of debt. They're not real displays of wealth. They're just displays of debt. Which, why are you displaying how much you don't have? so it's silly. But humanity's silly. I get to thinking a lot of times that, man, why is all this stuff happening in the world? Why is it so crazy? And it's people aren't logical. Logic doesn't factor into a lot of things humanity does. We're beings of emotions. And a lot of the stuff we do is based off of emotion. It clouds our judgment, it clouds what we do, and it builds on top of it. Emotion. And we operate on base drives. A lot of people do. We let that take over instead of going, what is the best for this circumstance? What are my goals? What do I want to get done? We just go, ooh, shiny. You can see that in my Minecraft videos all the time. I just go, ooh, shiny. New topic, new tangent. Where's my brain going today? You never know. I never know. One moment I'll be talking about my books, and then the next moment I'll be talking about the illogical things humanity does. And I am a human, and I'm quite illogical. A lot of times, though, it does have a logic to it. It's just very quick, and it bounces from thing to thing to thing to thing. Bricks. So with this box, I used to do this all the time. In Chaotica, you'll see this, where I just get bored with just making boxes, and I'll be like, well, I want this box to have a little ledge and a little different. And I've made, I think, 2 boxes already while I'm just talking. Yeah, I've gone through inventory twice, and every inventory is a box. So I've gone through inventory twice, 2 boxes. My brain is getting a little bored, so I don't know how much longer the video is going to be. I've got things to do today. Yesterday was a very busy day. Let's rehash what I did yesterday. I did a video in the morning, and then the missus wanted to do a grocery run. But we wanted to go to IKEA first because we wanted to I have family coming, and we were getting a guest room done up for the family members coming. And we wanted to have new linens and get a nice guest room without cats in it, because one of my family members is allergic to cats, and so no cats allowed in the guest room. New linens with no cat hair on it. Everything's going to be freshly laundered, nice, dusted, and hypoallergenic space, pretty much. And so we did that, and we went to IKEA because IKEA, if you haven't been to IKEA, go to IKEA. It has some of the best blankets. They're amazing. They make these big, fluffy, puffy, white blankets that you can get it with down, like goose down, or you can get it with whatever filler they use that is not goose down, with a synthetic. Oh, they're so warm. They're made for Swedish winters. It's IKEA. The stuff is comfy, and I love the blankets. So I have one that's like my blanket. Like, I curl up with it. I'm glad it's wintertime because now I have 2 blankets on me. It's great. I love my big comfy blankets. So we went to IKEA to get a big comfy blanket. And of course, like I was saying, I'm frugal. I am not into showy things. I like things with purpose. And we got a new house as of last December. We moved in, and it's a work in progress. We don't have everything we want. We have gaps in furniture, like where do we sit? So we went on the Facebook market and got some cheap couches this year. So while we're going through IKEA, we'd always dreamed of these bookshelves. They're called Billies, because nothing in IKEA is called what it is. It's called in its Swedish name. I don't even know if it's their Swedish name. They could be just making up words. No one would know. We're just like, okay, it's IKEA. It's got to be Swedish. This is from some cold country. This is how they talk there. But this one is called a Billy. They call bookshelves Billies in Sweden. And so there's this really pretty blue one. I'm like, oh, wow. I wish I could get that, but I could never fathom myself spending that much money. It's not a lot. It's IKEA. It's not a lot of money, but I'm a tightwad. I'm like, nope, my wallet will not open for anything that does not have multiple purposes and is very awesome and efficient and helps me out in so many different ways. I barely spend money on myself. That's like I've been playing Minecraft for what is it now, 15 years, and so my video game budget has been $20 for the last 15 years. I do donate to the server and things like that, so Minecraft gets more money out of me, but it goes to help keep this server alive. It helps somebody pay for it, helps pay their internet bill, you know. So back on topic, this IKEA. I'm just rambling. I hope you fell asleep by now if you're actually watching this to go to sleep. So I'm in IKEA, and we like to go by the deals section, which is towards the checkout. There's a little area where all the returns are. People have assembled stuff. They've assembled it wrong. It's usually crappy stuff or broken stuff. Well, what you got to look for is on the tag that describes if it's a customer return or anything like that. We found something that said it was a floor model, a showroom model, which means it was assembled by IKEA personnel. And that it means that it was never really used. It was just assembled. The main thing is it's going to be hard to get out of there because it's already assembled, and you've got to get it in your vehicle. And a lot of people don't come with big vehicles for built furniture. They usually go to IKEA and get boxes that they can fit into a trunk or something. So there it was, the Billy bookshelf, assembled by IKEA personnel, on sale, 40% off, and I was like, and it was in that beautiful blue that I liked. It's a little darker than this blue. It's actually a lot darker than that blue. And I loved it. I'm like, yes, I'm sorry. I'm spending money. And my wife is like, you barely ever spend money, so don't be sorry. Ooh, look at this. This is nice. I'm vibing this. Long building. So I got me a Billy, and I love it. And I hauled it in. I put it on the dolly yesterday, and I brought it in the house and got it set up. And I love it. I absolutely love it. And then we went to Costco, and we ate at Costco because it's very cheap. You get all the nutrients you need for $1.50. That's crazy. You can get a drink, and so you get carbs and a protein for $1.50. You probably need some fiber and stuff like that, but you can always get a salad if you want that stuff. And so we were happy. We had a good day. We did that. And then my missus wanted me to hang a whole bunch of stuff, like a whole wall full of pictures. And of course I was like, I got to get it all lined up. It's lined up like this. It has this gap here. There's bunches of pictures. And so I lined them up, wanted it to look like these frames. And it's very hard to get everything straight because this one would be tilted a little bit. And then, so I had a plumb line for down, and then I took my ruler and kept it level. I've got a 6-foot ruler. So I took my 6-foot ruler and kept it level. Oh, my avatar is telling me the story of Little Bunny Foo-Foo. And I wanted him to hold fire. But the moderator said they can't put fire in their hands anymore because they don't have that capability. I'm like, okay, give my avatar flint and steel. He will have fire. And so they did. And I thank you, Doozy, for giving my avatar flint and steel. These boxes here they're pretty much treasure. You might think, oh, it's cobbled deep slate. Well, you take cobbled deep slate, fill an inventory of it, go to spawn. Here's all the rules. These are the people. You can build anywhere not already in use. Try home set. Don't be a jerk. Be polite even when others are not. Have fun. 15 years. This server's been on as long as I've been playing. I only came here as of last year. Wow. Persisting since 2010. That's older than a lot of kids that play Minecraft. So you take your cobbled deep slate, come right here, and I'm left clicking. Boom. Look at that. 16 plus 16. That is 20, 32. 48. 48 plus 8 is 56. So I just made 56 monies. I'm almost back up to 7,000. I try and stay at 7,000. That's like my target. If I go over 7,000, I go on spending sprees. I can't help it. It's like I hit 7,000. I'm like, Minecraft spending spree, Minecraft spending spree, Minecraft spending spree. Codes of conduct and rules infinitum. I can't take the book. I bet there's a rule in here saying you can't take the book. Take the book. Don't use X-ray. This server, there is no reason to use X-ray. There's no reason to hack or cheat. Look at that. You can jump in the end. Whee! Ooh, and in the end. So there's no runecraft in the end. So I can't get a whole bunch of end stone. Ooh, so look at what somebody made here. Why did they do this? The end resets all the time. This is ridiculous. Why did you do this? This is going to be gone. So somebody built a whole temple in the end that's going to be reset sometime this week soon. This is, oh wow, somebody's done a lot of, well no, that's 2 dead dragons. Oh, nope, not jacking with that. This is sleepy time Minecraft, so we're not going into full-on end raids. We're just hanging out, listen to me tell boring stories about silly things. Ooh, let's use this. Do I have a bunch of that in one of these boxes? No. I need more of polished blackstone. I wonder if I have, ooh, here we go. Yes, blackstone, yes. I like blackstone a lot. And what do we want to cut it with? Ooh, let's cut it with... Nope, I don't have enough. I used all those. What do I want to cut it with? I want to cut it with... Do I have that? Nope, don't have that. Wonder if I have a lot of these. Nope. Nope. Here we go. Copper grates. That's probably going to look bad, but I don't care. It is going to be a box. Let's go to home temp. And let's check and see how the Guardian farm's doing. I think I need to concrete more water away. Oh, it's almost full. It is almost full. That's nice. Oh, I need to turn my blackstone into polished. I need to polish my blackstone. I'm polishing. Very quickly, I'm polishing all this blackstone. Imagine how long it would take to polish 1 cubic meter of blackstone rock and how hard it would be to move that around. That's why Minecraft's amazing, is you can build entire cities in a month. Something that would take decades in real life. And you can just manifest it right out your brain. Just manifesting. I'm going to put it up higher. Oh, I want to get it. I want to get 1 row of boxes all the way out. But I also want to do the second layer. Ooh, decisions. Ooh. We're going to do second layer right here. These buildings are getting too tall. They need a box on top of them to make them taller. Like there's a too tall. I've got sky limit to go to. Do. And then let's cut right here. Yeah. Yes. Oh, looks like we're doing a 3 cut. There we go. Let's do a 3 cut here. Ooh, nice. Oh, it's that lined up perfect. And 3 here. Perfect. Oh, this is great. This turned out great already. And that's another thing I've found. One of the secrets to dealing with your own mind is finding your flow. That state where things just go right, and whenever you're writing, you're just like, ooh, When I write, I don't have it all planned out. I just let my imagination go and let it flow through my fingers. I have my basic idea, an outline maybe, but then I say, okay, brain, do your thing. And you let your imagination go and eventually hit that flow state where you don't have to think, your brain's just doing. Like I just came up here and I'm like, I want to do a box here. And I just went until it felt right. And it lined up perfectly so that I would have these 4 lights like that. And it felt good. And that's the flow, is whenever you're just going with it and it feels good and things are just manifesting, that's flow. And I encourage everybody to find that. Now let's see if we can. This is going to be as big as that, I think. So this will probably be the tallest around here, uniting these 2 sides of the street. I'm probably going to cut into the tops of these buildings. Just lob them off on the inside. I like to do that because it joins the insides of the buildings and makes a continuous safe space, which you can plant vines and let it ladders. Vines are pretty much ladders, growing ladders. So I'll let them grow down and let you climb the safe space inside, or I'll put ladders or stairs, or there's all different ways of going up instead of just relying on flying all the time. I don't do elytra. No way. If I'm going to fly, I'm going to do it the Runecraft way, because that's just fun. Look, I'm hovering here. I'm hovering. But a lot of people fly all across the whole server, because you can fly across the server no problem. You got an inventory full of rockets, you're going. You can fly across the whole server if you wanted. Maybe I should learn to do the elytra and just do that one day. And do a regular Chaotica video and just be like, okay, today I'm flying across the whole server. But I don't want to learn elytra. I'd have to force myself to do that. It's not on my to-do list. I would be happy never mastering the elytra. I don't like it. But maybe I'll master it and love it. You never know. That's the beauty of things, is as you go and you learn and you do things that you didn't think that you'd ever enjoy, you enjoy it a whole lot. It's like trying really good cooked Brussels sprouts. I never thought I'd love Brussels sprouts. Properly cooked though, Brussels sprouts are amazing. So maybe elytra is like Brussels sprouts. Oh yeah, this is gonna be the tallest thing here around here, rivaling that side. And that's kind of my vision, is to get boxes on either side of the road. And then once I have the boxes, I'll put boxes on those boxes and kind of encapsulate the road. Once I encapsulate the road, it'll be like you're really going down a city with all the different colors, the different lights. I want more plants so it feels organic. I might plant a whole bunch of trees. Poor Seaside. That was my little role-playing village. It's going to be covered in boxes soon. I see it coming. Once I get this road all the way into that mountain and tear it down, that will be the end of this chaos leg for the time being. I will move on to the northern side. But I don't see that till January, probably. I might get this done by next month. January, I'll probably move to the north side. On the map, I have one long road leading north into the desert. This is the long road leading south into the water. I would like to do all the way to Bedrock under here, but that's forever. That'll take forever. But I've got a whole bunch of coral that I don't know what to do with. Probably going to make an aquarium. Don't know. It's just all about accumulation, acquisition, and distribution. That's all Minecrafting is acquisition and distribution. And I am distributing. That's an interesting word. Distributing. I think you could say it either way. Distributing. No, distributing. I'm going to say it really fast like that. Distributing. Distributing blackstone that I have harvested in the depths of the nether. I'm a big fan of the nether. I haven't done any videos of my nether roads. So whenever I get on a server, I want multiple ways of getting around the server. Like this, on the top side, people have made, there's a railway that goes through the middle of Chaotica. No, it goes through the northern edge of Chaotica, which will eventually be the middle of Chaotica. But there's a railroad there. And it's just minecarts. It's a minecart railroad. So people have minecart railroads going across the whole overworld server. On the other side, in the nether, I have nether roads on level, I think 32 or 34. It's right on top of the lava. Might be one over the lava. I think it's right on, I think it's level with the lava so that you can just walk onto it from the lava if you fall off. But I do them 2 wide and 3 tall so you can ride horses through the nether, which I think is just fun. It's just a funny concept, riding a donkey through the nether and going around, finding nether portals and jumping into random people's homes. So I have the whole server, I made a path of horse roads. So you can ride horses and donkeys and go visit everybody who connects to the nether. You can, in the nether, there's not a lot of builds, so you can just make stairs to everybody's nether portal that you find and go visit them. There are some big builds there. I know a lot of people have gold farms or whatever farms in the nether to automate things that are worth a lot of money on the game. So that's a thing people do. It is Monday, which is my day off, so not a lot of people are on. I like that too. Dig. So here I am. I've finished this box, which is actually quite pretty. That we'll see what happens when these copper grates turn green. They might lose their prettiness. I should have used wax ones, but whatever. Now I am doing what I was saying I was going to do and cracking the top off of them. Reharvest this light back that I just put down. I did this box just a little bit ago. You watched me do it. If you made it this far, you watched me do that one. That was back when I was talking about books. Goes by quick. And then that's where the flight rune is, right there. This is a Novalan flight rune in Runecraft. That's what it looks like. This one is made out of tough bricks and gold and tough brick stairs. It looks simple, but they're easy to screw up. I have to go buy a schematic that I made, or else I screw them up every time, because it just doesn't make sense. I'll go buy the schematic, and I've done it a dozen times now, and every time I build one, I'm like, this doesn't make sense. It doesn't click in my brain. Like, why is there a stair here? And I'm like, is this stair actually supposed to be here? And sure enough, it is, and it works. So if I go by schematic, it works every time. If I don't, it doesn't work every time. Ooh, this is neat. This shared wall. Ooh, I want to reclaim those blocks there. I like this shared wall, but I debate whether I want to just rip it out. Let's make a hole. Oh, dang. Did you see what I did? I did what I said is a bad thing to do. I did a boo-boo. I used my power pick. You're always supposed to crouch or else you use your power pick. But luckily, it only pierced right there and got that pink. Okay. Didn't break it too bad. Look at this. Need some stairs in there. Need glass, so I need more decorations. Need more boxes. Oh, I'm gonna fall. Oh, this room. I made this room. I don't think I was doing a video when I did it. Oh, wee, boop, boop, boop. I made this because one of the racers said that they were sliding off right here. And so I made this bumper box. Look at this guy. He thinks he can get us. Ha ha ha. Well, I'm going to call that a day, listen to some music, and probably I'm going to paint we're going to do some painting, I think, today, and enjoy the rest of the day. So thank you for joining me. Be safe, be good, and I hope you fell asleep.